What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Plastic Underground. Got a new video for you guys this week. It's a little something different. My buddies and I have started up a RPG campaign. We're doing a Star Trek Adventures series. So I wanted to make everybody a little something for. We're all playing on Zoom, and so I wanted to make some little something that everybody could have, and kind of keep down the noise a little bit from rolling the dice on the table, since we all have our mics on all the time. So I made everybody these little foam dice towers. These are all EVA foam. Our campaign takes place a little bit after Enterprise. So I did the Enterprise blue uniform, and I did the color coding to all of the departments. So my character is a engineer, and so he's an ensign. So he's got his badge here. I think you can see there, that's the engineer department on the Delta, and name on the front. And it's a pretty simple build. I think it's only like 6 pieces, and super easy to make. I have patterns for you guys. You can get them on my Facebook page. And so let's get into the build, and I'll show you how I made these cool little Star Trek dice towers. Obviously, you can customize them any way you want for any game that you're doing. But here's the basic patterns, and you can make your own, and let's get to it.
Okay, so to start this build, I'm cutting out all of the template pieces. This is some 10 millimeter foam. This is using some HD foam from SKS Props. This is great foam. I think this is maybe the second project I've done with this foam, and it's very, very nice. It's rigid, it glues well, it sands well. It's really, really great stuff. I can't recommend it enough. So those are all of the main body parts for this dice tower. I'm gluing the back piece onto the sides first to kind of make half a box. And then I glue the bottom part in. This will be the actual bottom piece. I kind of spread it apart and glue the back part on first. Then I glue the sides down. So now that is done, before I put the front on, what I do is I cut out the inside ladder parts. These are the pieces that the dice will actually bounce off and tumble around in. So there's a bottom plate that shoots the dice out forward. I think I called it the kick plate. So that goes on the bottom, and there are 2 pieces that go in the middle that make the ladder. So you can see they get a 45-degree cut. So they lay in there at an angle. Just using a little bit of super glue. I glue that in first. I glue that down like a few inches from the top. The only important thing to just make sure is that you're spacing them out enough where your dice don't get stuck in between them. You can see there's plenty of room in there, so you don't have to be super accurate. Like I said, as long as there's enough room for your dice to go through, then you don't have to really worry about it too much. So then it's actually easier to put the kick plate in first, and then put the 2 ladder pieces in, so you don't get glue all over your hands like I always do. Hey, just a quick interruption to let you guys know that we actually record all of our sessions. We haven't really officially started the full-on sessions yet, but we will get there shortly. But we have a couple sessions up, and it's pretty fun, and hopefully you guys check it out. And I think we're pretty funny sometimes, but yeah, check it out. Then you can put the front piece on. You can see that the front piece goes on there, and it's got that little arch cut out in the bottom. That's just to make sure that the dice find their way through and don't get stuck on the wall. I honestly don't really think they would. I don't think you'd have a problem with it if you didn't cut that arch out. So you could cut your own design in there. And then this is just the front piece. This is just to close the box off, make sure the dice don't fall out of the box. Do a quick test, make sure that it sits how you want. Then I go through with some Plasti Dip. I put 4 good coats of Plasti Dip on this, inside and out. Especially the inside parts where the dice are going to be hitting and bouncing off. I wanted to make sure that that it was sealed good. So now I'm using some of this ink blue from Fusion by Krylon. This is a really, really good blue color. This is to replicate the color of the uniforms from Enterprise. It's a pretty good, like, flat navy blue. It kind of looks like blue jean, a little bit darker than blue jean actually. But this is a really great paint, and it covers in like 2 coats. Honestly, you could get away with 1, but like I said, I was making these for a bunch of people, so I wanted to make sure everything was good. Now I can go through after that dries for, I think it dried for about a day. I go through a little bit of some of this green frog tape just to make sure I get some really clean lines, and just using a little bit of this masking paper that I've had forever, and I mask off where I want the separate color to be for the departments. So see, I made 7 of these, so I had to do a light blue for science and medical. I had to do yellow for command, and red for engineering and security, I think. So you're not seeing them, but off camera I'm doing like 2 of these at the same time, so I can paint 2 colors at the same time. So this gets a little bit of red. See, I didn't tape off the inside. The inside will be painted black anyway, so I'm super worried about where the paint is going inside. And I think this red took about 3 coats. You can see I'm just putting light coats on. I put light coats on to make sure that it doesn't soak through the tape or under the tape. It's not always a perfect guarantee, but at least it kind of helps prevent that a little bit. And then after that dries, you can go ahead and take the tape off. It's pretty satisfying, especially when you get clean lines. It's pretty satisfying. The thing I did, since this was mine, this was kind of my test tower. The thing I did separately is I put that color all the way around the top too on everybody else's. I think that gave it a better look. So I painted the inside of this black with just a little bit of acrylic black paint. My original thought was to paint this black and then spray a little bit of white in there and kind of replicate like stars, make it a galaxy. And I did that at first before I painted it, just to see how it looked, and it was too much. It was too busy. It kind of took away from the look of it, so I ended up just keeping it black, and it just keeps it that simple look. Now this I did for everybody else, and it worked perfect, but of course I did it for mine and it failed miserably. I don't know what the difference was. This was some, not transfer paper, stencil vinyl that my sister bought, and we cut these names out on the Cricut out of the stencil vinyl, and I'm just using a little bit of tape to pull that off of the backing there. And then you put the transfer, you put the stencil on top here, and then I peel the tape off to keep the vinyl on. And yeah, like I said, it worked. It worked on everybody else's, and so I stick that on, and then I mask around it. Again, it's more masking. I hate taping and painting. It's just, to me, it's like so tedious, and sometimes I feel like I'm faster with just a brush. But it doesn't always look good with a brush either. So there you can see like how nice that looks. There's a shot of all the other boxes, and so then I go to peel the vinyl off, and it like the paint sticks like in between the vinyl. The paint like stays in the vinyl. It was really weird. I've never seen that. And then you can see even here, like now, like that should be like, that's spray paint. That should be permanent, but I can just like rub it off with my finger. So I went to the old trusty method. Plus this is mine, so I wasn't super worried about it being neat and fancy. So I just went through and I painted the letters on. My character is Isaac Clarke. I'm an engineer. I kind of merged one of my favorite games of Dead Space. Kind of took that character into Star Trek. I thought that would be fun. Those foam things up in the corner there, those are just 5mm foam cut at angles and spray painted silver. Those are all of the rank badges for everybody. These deltas I 3D printed. I think I found the files free on Thingiverse. And since my guy is a ensign, he's basically a low rank, he gets one badge, and also his delta. In our design, the lowest ranking delta is a copper, and then the next up is silver, and then gold. So that is why those are that color. And that pretty much does it for the build. So as you can see here, I bought like the official Star Trek Adventures dice. And just doing a quick test. I like how the dice are red, and it kind of matches the engineering colors, and it's kind of a cool thing. I do have plans with my sister to make some like custom dice for our game. You can see here, this is an example of we did the molding already. We'd made molds, and these are custom dice that I have pulled and painted. These are like a red and blue epoxy mix, and then I wanted to get a little bit crazy, and I 3D printed a little ships and put in there. You can see though, it's just I get too many bubbles because I don't have a vacuum chamber or a pressure pot for resin. And it's not like it's super expensive, but like I can't justify spending $100 on a pressure pot to make like 10 dice, you know what I mean? So that's something we're working on, and I hope to have a cool video on that for you guys. And that is it. That's the foam dice towers. Hope you like it. Use my patterns, customize it however you want, and feel free to send me pictures if you guys make it, or if you make something different, and I will catch you guys next time.